So Game Theory made a video called "Which Killers Can Survive a Disease Outbreak." But I'm sorry to tell you, but most of the Smash Brothers characters can survive this. Heck, Rob's a freaking robot for holy cow. But who can survive the other thing? An apocalypse. Just any type of apocalypse. It could be we'll be doing three types of apocalypses. Disease apocalypse, a nuclear apocalypse, or a natural apocalypse. Basically means like a super volcano or something like that. So we'll be going from order. First is piranha plant. First of all, piranha plant is a plant. Okay, he would probably survive unless the virus affects plants. Piranha plant would probably survive a virus if it does not affect plants. But in a nuclear or media apocalypse, piranha plant is toast. The nuclear apocalypse, yeah, piranha plant does have a small chance as he's already a mutant flower. And then, of course, the natural apocalypse, like Toba, like 8 to 5 mass extinctions in history. I think Piranha Plant, since plants have survived every single one, Piranha Plant has a big chance of surviving it. Next character is Joker. Joker is a pretty tough boy, but without his persona, he's dead. A virus, kind of like the virus going around now, Joker will probably survive. Or if it's another one, it just depends on how the virus affects which age of people Joker is. Nuclear apocalypse, Joker without his persona is dead. He has no chance of surviving. And next is the natural apocalypse, like the mass extinctions. His persona won't help him. If without his persona, he will die. With his persona, he'll probably survive until the end. So yeah, and of course, all the natural apocalypses will last for a day. Next is Hero. Hero has various amounts of magic, so which means he can heal himself, basically making a virus but dead. But the problem is, the other two, Hero will run out of MP. Yes, Hero might not be able to. Hero can put heat resistance and all these stuff so he can survive. So Hero would probably be the first character that could guarantee to survive all of them. Next is Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie, it depends on what type of virus it is. If it affects certain animal, for example, the virus going around here doesn't affect bears, so he will probably survive. Same thing with birds. Do not really affect birds. But other viruses, like, that passes on to bears, Banjo-Kazooie will probably have a chance of dying from that. Then there's the nuclear apocalypse, or the media apocalypse, basically both the same thing. On surviving, I don't think Banjo-Kazooie could probably survive that. Next is a mass extinction, like, Toba, Yellowstone, and all that stuff. Banjo might die, but Kazooie might survive because he's a bird. Kazooie might be sad for a while that Banjo is dead, but he'll realize what's more important is surviving, and his species surviving is more important than Banjo being dead. And realize that he can fly and do that stuff on his own. Terry, I'm gonna lump Ryu, Terry, and Ken together. Basically, I don't think they're good. They might. It depends. They'll be the coronavirus that Terry has a more likely chance of dying by the virus than Joker. Obviously, the Terry will probably, but if it depends on which virus it is. Some viruses and diseases have higher mortality rates than others. So it really depends on the virus if Terry will survive, and Ryu and Ken, but the tough men will probably survive anyways. Next is, of course, a nuclear apocalypse. These guys are not surviving. They're just normal humans who know how to do martial arts. And next is the other apocalypse again, unless they go for shelter, they're not gonna live. Byleth. Byleth does have magic, which is their only thing that's going for them, but virus, they probably would survive. It depends on which virus, though. But yeah, if it's just like a flu, if it's just like, the flu, they'll probably survive easily. So yeah, they'll probably survive the first one. It really depends on the virus. But we're just using the common ones that are used, the common diseases that people normally get. So yeah, they'll probably survive the first. The second one, unless they do have magical powers and fly, but they can't really survive outside of Earth. So Beowulf will not survive. And then there was like Tailstone. Beowulf will probably survive. All they have to do is build shelter and use their magic to get warm. Next is Mario. Mario is, yeah, he'll probably survive a virus. Mario is like in his 20s to 30s, so yeah, he'll probably survive a average disease. His body is not weakened yet, so yeah, Mario will survive. The next thing that he is a nuclear apocalypse. Mario is good at jumping, but he can't really breathe without air, so Mario would be dead. A meteor apocalypse he could possibly survive, as he can use fire as powers, so yeah, Mario could probably withstand the heat. Also, Mario can apparently breathe in space in Mario Galaxy, so Mario, if he blasts out to space, he'll probably survive. And then there's like a turbo or something. Mario has dealt with volcanoes, has actually been really oh yeah, and also Mario has really been inside a volcano and survived. And New Super Mario Bros. Yes, next is the cold. Can Mario survive the cold? Probably. He's Mario. Next is Donkey Kong. Will Donkey Kong survive? Well, a virus? We're going to use the one that actually has been affecting gorillas, Ebola. Yes, Donkey Kong will probably get this one, as the other two, all the other viruses have not been known to contract humans. Donkey Kong, well, he's a gorilla. He lives in the forest. He does not have access to the things we do. Of course, if Donkey Kong's hanging out with everybody else, or is hanging out with a vet, he'll probably survive. But Donkey Kong in the middle of DK Island, if a virus hits them, Donkey Kong will probably not live. A nuclear apocalypse, I don't have to really explain that one. Donkey Kong will probably die from that one. And of course, it's a volcanic eruption. Donkey Kong needs a fresh supply of bananas. But Donkey Kong has been But the thing is, Donkey Kong has been hoarding bananas, so he can just stay in his cave that somehow keeps bananas cool for a while. And if there's a volcanic apocalypse, and it's on DK Island, Donkey Kong will probably survive. Next is Link. Link can use his fairies to, make himself survive. Link is essentially one of the strongest characters in fiction. He was able to beat the God of Darkness. But, yeah, he'll probably survive a virus, as he's only like in the mid-20s to 30s. Next is the nuclear apocalypse. Link would probably not survive this. Even with his powers, he wouldn't stand the radiation. But he has beaten gods before, so Link can probably defy it, so it's a maybe. And then the last one, of course, is volcanic apocalypse. Link is probably prepared for this as well, considering, and we'll throw in Young Link as well, Toon Link and Young Link as well. They'll be using the same factors as Link. But yeah, all the Links will probably survive most of the apocalypses. Samus is in a suit of armor. Samus and Zero Suit Samus. In a virus, Samus is probably in the mid-20s or something like that. So Samus will probably survive the average virus. So yeah, Samus will probably survive a epidemic or a pandemic as well from Plague Inc. Yes, Plague Inc. And of course, Samus could probably survive a nuclear apocalypse. Samus, all she has to do is go in her armor, which is possibly radiation resistant, as she's able to take hits from Dark Samus and Ridley's freaking fireball. So Samus is same thing with the last one. Samus is probably prepared for this. She has lived on alien planets and probably don't even have much oxygen to begin with. Dark Samus will probably survive all three. Dark Samus is basically a virus in itself, so he or it will survive that. Same thing with the other two. Same thing with Samus. Yoshi will probably not get human viruses. First of all, he's a Yoshi. He's a dinosaur. He probably gets dinosaur viruses. And Yoshi is pretty young, so he'll probably survive. There's not an old Yoshi in this game. Yoshi would probably survive a nuclear apocalypse because Yoshi is basically secluded on the Yoshi Island. And Yoshi is a very durable character. Next is a volcanic eruption. Yoshi could probably survive that, as he has in the same durability range as Mario. Kirby's probably can survive all three. Kirby can really beat gods. I don't see why he won't survive any of these. Next is Fox. Fox could probably survive a normal disease. He's not really old or anything. But the disease that Fox will probably get is the one that is rabies, but he probably won't survive that. So yeah, the first death by a disease. Fox is the first one. Yeah, the next one is a nuclear apocalypse. All Fox has to do is go on his R-Wing and escape to space. It's the same thing applies for the other Star Fox characters. It's just that simple. They can just use the R-Wing to escape to space and go to other planets. Next is Pikachu. Pikachu probably gets a average mouse virus, so Pikachu probably survived that. Next, Pikachu couldn't probably survive a nuclear apocalypse. This also probably to Pichu as well, and Pichu probably would probably survive a volcanic apocalypse, considering that our ancestors, which were mouse sized, survived the dinosaur mass extinction, and the animals that were more had don't really need much food like Pikachu. Luigi is much different from Mario. He is taller, and he'll probably get a similar virus to Mario. He would probably survive as he's around the same age as Mario. And the other two, Luigi would probably not survive the other two. Would probably not survive a nuclear apocalypse. I'm just saying, and of course, Luigi would of course survive the same thing as Mario. Next is Ness. Ness, unless the virus infects kids, Ness is safe. So yeah, Ness is practically safe in this category. Also, Ness, second is a nuclear apocalypse. Ness has psychic powers. Ness can really just put a psychic barrier around him. Farmers, he'll need food. Which, yeah, that would be the one problem with the other characters that could survive a nuclear apocalypse. But Ness can really have psychic powers, so he'll probably survive. Then it's the same thing with the other apocalypse. All Ness really has to do is find food. That's the only problem Ness had to deal with, but he would probably survive the initial impact. Next is Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon is probably in his 40s or 30s. Captain Falcon has a higher chance of dying as his immune system is weaker than most of the other characters on this list. Captain Falcon, of course, probably won't survive a nuclear apocalypse. He's just a normal guy who drives a car. Same thing with other apocalypse. Even though he has godly, he has Captain Falcon powers, that's only unique to Smash Bros. I'll talk about in-game canon Captain Falcon, which probably will not survive. Next is Jigglypuff. I don't know what Jigglypuff gets sick by. Do not know why, but do not know what Jigglypuff is. It's a balloon, probably can't get sick. Jigglypuff, of course, would probably survive a nuclear apocalypse, considering that... poison... No, Jigglypuff wouldn't, because nuclear power would be poison type, which is super effective to Jigglypuff, making Jigglypuff dead. And then, of course, the other apocalypse, which is a kind of like a solar apocalypse or volcanic apocalypse. Jigglypuff would probably survive it. And that's the first batch of characters. I'll probably continue part 2 of this series, who can survive the apocalypse. And we have some unique characters here, like Wario and Snake, who can go over, and Ganondorf, and of course Bowser, which is the one I have my eyes on. But we won't be talking about characters like Pichu, and characters that have been included with other characters, such as Ryu and Ken, which have been included with Terry, and the other Links. That's basically it. Goodbye.